Hey there, it's Lacy J here to ask you to go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, buy yourself some merch, and most importantly, send us a message, the latter of which we'll reply to on our newly revamped weekly pre-shows, where we have as many fun segments as we do on the audio pod. There are current events with Christy, corrections and observations with Ben, and as always, questions with Derek. Plus, I have new fun facts and tell a terrible fucking joke every single week. Please join us, and please consider rating and reviewing us on your favorite app or recommending us to a friend who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Lost in My 40s, Season 3, Episode 19. It's called The Brig. It's a Locke episode. It's a Ben episode. But first, how's everybody today?
Hey.
Great. Hey.
I'm Fat Albert. That's what you sounded like. Wow. That brings me back to my childhood. All right. Yeah. This week, it's a biggin. It's a biggin of an episode. Before we dive into it, Ben, could you remind us of our power rankings after episode 18?
I will. We had Juliet jump into first place with 107 points, Hurley just behind her with 105, and Sawyer dropping to a strong third with 99 points.
Whoa!
The bottom is unyielding, unchanging. Danny, negative 90. Paolo at negative 80. And Charles Widmore, negative 38.
Only that last one I did into his glass of McCutcheon. Like that, right in there. Okay, Benjamin, this is your week. It's a big episode. Take us through.
It's a Brig episode. We start off in a dark room lit only by a fire. Locke sits reading from a red dossier. Knocking and muffled cries can be heard from another room. And Locke looks over and says, "Save your breath. No one's going to hear you." He finishes reading the folder and then tosses it into the fire and watches it burn. And this takes us to flashback number 1. It's 8 days ago, day 81. We're back at the moment that ended episode 13. Locke is in the doorway looking at his father gagged. And Tom is also in the room with Ben and Albert standing outside.
Did you notice that when Locke says "Dad," that there's a quick shot of Cooper and his eye like twitches? Yeah. I thought that was pretty great.
Locke wants to know how this happened, and Ben says, "You tell me. You brought him here."
What?
Locke denies that as he moves closer. Ben warns him to stay back. And Tom is actually, you can see him holding a taser. Locke again. Yeah, a stun gun, exactly. Locke asks again,
is that two different things? A taser and a stun gun?
A taser, you shoot it and it stuns you. A stun gun, you have to actually
press it against somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Me neither.
Locke asks again how Cooper got there. And again, Ben says that he didn't do it. So Locke, as he pulls the gag off his father, Cooper bites his hand.
Yeah.
He's like growling and stuff.
Yeah.
I know. Ben yells, and then Tom stuns him until Locke can get free. I would think that would shock you too, right? I think you're biting into somebody.
It doesn't, I've heard.
Really?
Like if you're holding on to him, it doesn't transfer through.
I imagine that wouldn't they just make the handle of the thing something that wouldn't conduct so that you're protected?
Well, yeah, it's plastic.
Yeah,
they're usually made out of plastic.
As long as you're holding onto that.
Well, you're talking about like why did it shock Locke? Who was being bitten. Now you know what's going through.
Maybe the electricity didn't go through
saliva.
his teeth.
Yeah, maybe it does.
Yes,
who knows?
that would be if Locke was touching him. Then he should have been shocked. That's true.
Butthole.
Maybe he's got wooden teeth.
There you go. That solves it.
Yeah.
Cooper says, "Don't you know, John? Don't you know where we are?" Tom quickly closes the door, leaving Locke outside. He wants to know what his father meant.
Okay, so last week we talked about last week we talked about, the writers teasing purgatory all the time, even though they had come out publicly and said that's not it. So then now they've got the guy talking about
hell,
obviously implying that they're in hell, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's another
Not yet.
tease of the writing. Well, sure he is.
Yeah.
Here, don't you know where we are? I thought immediately I knew what he was talking about. Even the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, here we go. Anyways, go ahead.
And outside, Locke wants to know what his father meant, but Ben says there's no time to deal with that right now. He tells Locke, we're leaving first thing in the morning, all of us. We're going to a new place. Well, an old place, actually. Would you like to come with us? Locke pauses for a moment, considering it, then says yes. Ben is pleased and tells Locke that Kate is just a few buildings over if he wants to say goodbye. Present day at Camp Original, and Kate is lying awake awake in bed with Sawyer. It says awake in Ben with Sawyer.
It does.
Awake in Ben.
Probably like auto-corrected to that because I type Ben so much.
Yeah. Sawyer's sleeping. She slips out of the bed and gets dressed as he wakes up. She tells him it's nothing personal, but she has to sleep in her own tent. And he tries to go with her, but it's clear that he's not invited. So Sawyer's like, fine, scram, and kind of pushes her away. They laugh. It's cute.
It is cute. They're playful with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. He offers to walk her home, but she says it's only 5 tents and she'll make it. And he says, well, I got to pee anyway. And she says, oh, this is so romantic.
It is.
And they kiss, and then she leaves. So then we see Sawyer. He's grabbing his gun, tucking it behind him. Outside, he sees Hurley and Jin by another tent. Sawyer asks what they're doing, and they ask him the same. He says he's taking a leak, and they say they're taking a leak. Well, all right.
At the same time. Yeah.
It is hilariously awkward, and obviously we find out later why. But
Hurley's just the worst liar.
He's really bad.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, alrighty then, Sawyer says, before walking to the tree to
Sword
pee.
fighting. Yeah.
Docking.
Whoa.
He hears a noise behind him and he spins around with his gun pointed. The light shines on his face.
Which gun?
Oh. And the flashlight lowers. We see it's John Locke. He says, hello, James.
Hello, James.
Oh, boy.
Locke.
They're all getting busy in the tents or whatever, but like I would hope they're using protection at this point, because if you get pregnant on that island, it sounds like it's a friggin' death sentence.
Death sentence, yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they getting?
Hopefully someone brought condoms on the plane.
Yeah, I guess that could be. Like, if somebody needs to travel with like a box of condoms, I guess. Good for them.
They best have some strong pull-out game.
Rhythm method.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It is not infallible, kids. So
I got lucky with it.
Can I tell you something? When I was a child and I heard the phrase the rhythm method, I thought that meant that you could avoid pregnancy if you were fucking to like a certain beat.
Nice.
Like a rhythm. Like there was a rhythm to your method.
Yeah.
This is why we need good sexual health education.
It's true.
Because kids are fucking stupid.
That is true.
I got the education. I just chose not to wear a condom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh. I think she meant me and my rhythm method.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was like having sex to like Janet Jackson and
Rhythm Nation.
expecting to not get pregnant. All right. Go ahead.
So Locke and Sawyer stare at each other for a second while Sawyer still has the gun pointed. Locke asks Sawyer if he would like to zip his pants.
Yeah.
Wait. You didn't say lost title screen, honey.
Oops.
Lost title screen. He does and says, okay, Tarzan, so now that you're back from the blow up everything that could get us off the island tour, how about you tell me why you joined up with the damn enemy? Locke denies that.
That's a valid,
It is. Big time.
question, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Locke denies that and says instead that he infiltrated them.
Oh.
Sawyer is sarcastic about him being undercover and asks for one reason to believe that. Locke replies, because a few hours ago, I snuck into Ben's tent and kidnapped him. I tied him up and dragged him off into the jungle. Sawyer doesn't understand why Locke would come to the camp and tell him that. Locke says that Ben tortured, beat, and humiliated Sawyer, and he wants Sawyer to kill him.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Up the ante. I mean, Jesus.
No
Oh, all right.
Sawyer says, you want him dead, you kill him. Locke says he's not a murderer. And then when Sawyer claims to be the same, Locke replies, except for that you killed a man in Sydney.
Oh.
And then he says, they
Whoa.
got files on us, James, all of us. Sawyer still denies it, so Locke says he made a mistake in coming to see him and leaves.
I still don't understand how the others know
I know.
about that.
Yeah, because he did what, the day before they got on the plane?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapped
I mean,
in an
there's
enigma.
information gathering, and then there's that. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
that's like godlike, you know.
Maybe they
that's
had
no-
a balloon flying over him when it happened.
That's right.
They're Australian, not Chinese.
Yep.
I mean, Australians probably have balloons too, don't you think?
I know, just with the whole Chinese balloon thing
Yeah.
happening
Yeah,
now.
I know.
mentioned it.
Locke does not get far before Sawyer yells at him to wait up, and then Sawyer starts to run after him. Locke keeps moving, and as he's walking away, you see him smile, and it's a very knowing smile.
Of course.
Oh yeah, that's a Locke, like season 1. I've got the hatch hidden smile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Flashback number 2. It's 3 days ago. The others have built tents in a valley field. Locke is helping someone make their tent and notices that some of the people are looking at him. Mostly women, actually.
Yeah.
And
he
one
fin-
looks like she's ready to fuck him.
Oh,
You
yeah,
see
man.
that?
She's-
She gets
she's-
fresh
real
meat.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah. He finishes what he's doing, and then Cindy comes up to thank him. She sees the people looking and tells him that they're just excited that he's here and that they've been waiting for him.
Shwing. That's what happened to Locke when he
I always
heard they
imagine
were
at
waiting
that
for
point,
him.
Locke is like waiting for me. He's like, just the women, or am I gonna have to be flexible here? Tom shows up to say that Ben is asking for Locke. He goes to Ben's tent where he's listening to Juliet's tape recording about Sun. Ben says that Juliet is gathering information about pregnant women so that they can go and take them.
Oh,
Locke,
okay.
Wow.
Christ.
Locke expresses concern. Ben reassures him that they've done this before and that nobody's going to get hurt.
He's so casual about it too. He's just,
Yeah.
we're gonna go take them. No, we've
Yeah.
done it before.
We'll just
What's the
kidnap
problem?
them, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're just
no big
kidnapping
deal.
pregnant women. What is the deal? What's your problem, Locke?
Yeah, it's fine. We do this all the time. No big deal.
So Ben asks Locke to hand him his walking stick. Ben lifts himself out of the chair, and Locke looks sort of surprised. And he tells Locke that he's responsible. He says, a week ago, I couldn't move my toes, but the minute you shut up, John, I started to feel pins and needles. And this is only the beginning. I can't wait to show you what this island can do. But unfortunately, you're not ready, John.
Damn it.
Locke tries to protest, but Ben continues, telling him that he's still crippled by the memories of the man he used to be before he was on the island.
Whoa.
He says Locke won't be free until he releases the hold his father has on him, which is why he brought him to the island.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Locke says something
That's
sarcastic
so.
about the magic box. So Ben says, the magic box is a metaphor, John. I can't show you anything until you show me that you're ready and willing to be one of us. When people join us here on the island, they need to make a gesture of free will, of commitment. That's why you're going to have to kill your father.
It's like a gang initiation here.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Seriously.
What? You
Yes.
gesture of free will, of commitment. That's, I mean, I feel like that's a wide, why does it have to be murder?
Yeah.
What?
Drama. That's why.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I guess
Locke
Ben
looks-
does not fuck around. If you
He's
want to
not
join
fucking
his
around.
club, I guess you better be ready.
So Locke looks outside the tent to see his father tied to an old stone pillar, looking like he's ready to be sacrificed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
that's
it
a
looks
great
like.
shot.
Back at the present day on the Originals beach, Charlie is in the pantry taking food supplies. Which are they still getting fucking food drops?
Must
They must be.
They must be because they always have
One pallet wouldn't have lasted that long.
No
all those
way.
People.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, do we really know what day? I mean, it's day 80 something now, right? And the pallet
Yeah.
didn't get dropped
No, it's
until
past 90 because remember when Sun got our ultrasound. Plus, the way they summoned the pallets was that one that Locke blew up. So who knows?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's
even
probably
so,
true.
it's probably only been about a month. That was a huge pallet of food. I don't know.
It depends on how fast they tore through that risotto.
I mean, how many people are there? Like 30,
I guess
40?
Yeah.
That's a
Depending
lot.
on how many people
That's a lot of
died.
Steves and Scotts to feed.
I guess so, yeah.
One of
Okay.
them's dead, though.
That's
Steve
true.
or Scott, I don't
Yeah,
know.
one of them.
One of them.
So while Charlie is taking food supplies, Jack arrives. He tries to make small talk about their camping trip, and Charlie awkwardly tells him that they were going down to the beach for male bonding. Jack says, next time they're going to do it, sign him up. And Charlie replies, yeah, next time, sure.
Okay, Jack.
Bonding.
Jack nods and leaves, and Charlie takes the food to the same tent we saw Hurley and Jin outside earlier, talking about pee.
Wait, excuse me. One fucking second. But how in the hell did they get her into that tent on a stretcher and nobody saw anything?
They came in at night.
They came in at night.
Sawyer
obviously.
and Kate were fucking, so they weren't paying attention.
Okay, so we're just
Everybody was in
assuming
their
no
tents, I
one
guess.
and no one is outside of their tent at nighttime, I guess.
No one is sweeping the perimeter, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask who
Right.
is on the perimeter.
They came in through the back.
Hey,
They did.
all right, fine. Cover of darkness, it is. Gotcha.
Yep.
So Desmond is also with them now. Charlie gives the food to Jin, who takes it inside. Charlie tells Desmond that they need to tell Jack. Hurley agrees that Jack should check her out, but Desmond is worried that they can no longer trust Jack after he spent 10 days with the others and nothing happened to him. Plus,
They
he's worried
all
about
doubt Jack pretty quickly,
I
don't
know.
they?
That's like so fast, all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's ready to believe that he has betrayed them. That's something.
Yeah.
He brought
Was it-
an other into their camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
but
they was just watching him spike the football. They were just like, "What?"
Yeah,
They're still
really.
broken from that image.
Yeah, that could be true, like for Kate, maybe. Most
Yeah,
of them
Kate
didn't
especially.
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, he's worried about Juliet and says, 2 weeks ago, she had your friends in cages. Naomi, I mean, you heard everything that she said. If we keep her safe, she's our way off this island. So given that, do you trust Jack or don't you? They all stare at each other, but neither Charlie nor Hurley reply. So Desmond says, right. So you better bring us, someone we can trust.
I mean, Jack still wants to get off the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Thanks,
pissed off
Locke.
that the sub got blown up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Locke.
I'm not sure it's warranted for them to think that he would have joined the others after 10 days. I get it. I mean, I get the signs are there and he's got Juliet but if they really trusted Jack and he was their leader, then wouldn't they be like, okay, obviously he has a good reason for this. I don't know. I guess I'm just a little bit surprised by all the Jack doubt, just
am
like
too.
that.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I doubt our leaders all the fucking time.
It's true.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but they're not Jack. They're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
They don't have the hairpiece that Jack has.
Oh, yes.
wow.
That made him look like a fucking idiot.
In the jungle, a still barefoot Sawyer is following Locke, who points out that Sawyer should have put on some shoes.
Yeah, I can't see how he walked through that
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
completely
dumb.
barefoot.
Sawyer wants to know what else was in the file. Locke says, not much. That your parents died when you were really young, but it doesn't say why your father shot your mother or why he turned the gun on himself.
Ooh.
Jesus. Just
Wow.
says that right out loud?
Right.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
He pauses before saying, that must have been hard for you. And Sawyer's face here is pretty good. Like, he looks like
I
he's
have
just,
that in my notes too, in all caps.
Yeah.
Sawyer's face. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks
Locke had,
gutted.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Locke adds that the file had Sawyer's transcripts, criminal record, con jobs he was arrested for.
Damn.
Just as Locke's about to ask Sawyer why he chose that alias, Sawyer hits him over the head with his gun.
Bang.
He knocks Locke to the ground, steals his knife, and holds it to his neck. How stupid do you think I am, huh? I've already been conned by Ben once. Maybe you heard about it. Bunny with a number painted on it. Think I'm just going to follow you through the jungle? Before he can say more, Locke interrupts to plead with Sawyer to trust him. He needs him to kill Ben. Sawyer wants to know why Locke won't do it himself. Locke cracks and screams, because I can't do it.
Because Locke's a pussy.
Yeah, he is.
Well, yeah, and because, Locke,
Right.
Sawyer doesn't know
I'm sorry, I don't
that
care
it's
who.
not Ben, yeah.
Yeah.
Locke is
Someone
still
throws
a
me
pussy
out of a
either
window.
way.
I don't care who it was. I'm going to kill the motherfucker.
I know. That's what I'm thinking, too, is think I have it somewhere later in my notes where I was just saying that to myself or out loud at the TV. Like, why? Why can't you? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy has done every horrible thing he could ever do to you.
Stole
And
your kidney and
Took your
tried to
kidney.
kill you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
took your ability to walk.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't get it. But I
That's
guess
how they wrote him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is why. Yes. Thank you for that, Derek. That's helpful.
Randy Douchebag Nations was right.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
So Sawyer pulls the knife away and tells Locke to get up. Sawyer says he'll go to wherever Ben is, but then he's bringing him back to the camp. He's not killing him. Locke says, yeah, I understand, but you'll change your mind. When you hear what he has to say, you'll change your mind.
Whoa.
What the fuck? Ben, Locke is like, he's like channeling Ben here. That's some cryptic,
Yes, he is.
confident shit he's saying.
Yeah.
And it really feels like he's mirroring
Yeah.
Ben's sort of always attitude, I guess.
We're definitely seeing Locke on an upswing of confidence right now. So
Yeah.
within 2 or 3 episodes, he's going to be just like crying, fetal
Oh, is that
position in
how
a
you-
hole somewhere.
Is that how you think it's going to happen?
That's what he has a tendency to do. He's sort of like.
Did you say
he's-
crying in a hole somewhere?
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Interesting. Okay. We'll revisit that. Yeah, let's keep going.
Back at camp, Saeed is digging a hole. Hurley approaches and says, "Hey, dude."
Speaking of.
Yeah. Is this
There
the
you
one that
go.
Locke is going to
There you
cry?
go.
Yeah.
That's right. It's his bed. Skeptical, Saeed replies, "Hello, Hurley." Saeed stops digging as Hurley hesitates. Hurley finally says, "Can you keep a secret?"
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
They arrive at the tent holding the stranger. Saeed asks Charlie if he's spoken to her, and Charlie says, "Yeah, you're going to want to hear it for yourself." Saeed makes sure nobody has told Jack before he enters the tent.
Man.
Yeah. Like they're closing
He
him
doesn't
out.
trust him either.
No
The whole,
Jack
yeah.
trust at
Yeah.
all.
None. No. They're like, fuck
No.
this guy. He got kidnapped and now he's compromised, is basically. Yeah.
Inside, Desmond smiles at Saeed, who takes a seat. Saeed introduces himself, and she identifies herself as Naomi Dorrit, who took off from a freighter about 80 nautical miles west of the island. She's part of a search and rescue recovery team. Saeed asks her to clarify what she meant earlier was the part, if what she meant earlier was the Flight 815 wreckage was found. Naomi says, no, they found the entire plane off the coast of Bali in an ocean trench 4 miles deep. They sent down cameras and these little robots to survey the wreck. The bodies were all there. Saeed pauses for a moment and says, well, obviously we're not dead.
Is it?
Saeed, is
Yeah,
it?
what the
Is
fuck
it?
again? Yeah.
Is it?
What the hell?
Saeed then wants to know if she wasn't looking for them, then who was she looking for? And she points at Desmond. Naomi goes on and tells her that her company was hired by Penelope Widmore. She doesn't know why. She never met her, but she gave them some coordinates and told them to find Desmond. They thought it was a fool's errand, but took the job anyway. Then 3 days ago, some clouds cleared while she was flying her helicopter, and she saw the island. All the instruments in her helicopter started spinning, and she went down. She says once she realized she was going down, she bailed out. Saeed turns to Desmond to ask if they saw the helicopter, and Naomi is sort of like, well, you think I'm lying? And Saeed sarcastically says, and I take you have no means whatsoever of communicating with that freighter of yours. But Naomi pulls out the satellite phone from under the covers and says, "Remind me not to rescue you, Saeed."
Yeah, that was funny.
Okay, lady, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
These people have been through a lot. I would be suspicious of people falling from the sky, too. Last guy who supposedly came down on a balloon turned out to be fucking Benjamin Linus.
Yeah, that's right.
So, take that, Naomi. All right.
Locke and Sawyer are still trekking. Sawyer stops to put his feet in a stream and sighs with relief. Sawyer wants Locke to give him a heads up on what Ben is going to say to make him want to kill him. Locke replies, "It's not really my place to tell you."
Okay, cryptic Locke.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you, but you're going to kill him.
Yes. I like to be the arbiter of things. Sawyer tells Locke that he didn't mean to kill the man in Sydney. He thought he was someone else. Locke asks, "Well, who did you mean to kill?"
Oh, my goodness. He's baiting him.
Yeah. Sawyer ignores the question and asks if they're almost there. And Locke replies, "Almost."
Ooh, at this point, Derek, you still thought it was Ben, right?
Yes.
In there? Yeah.
Until it was revealed.
Right.
I thought
Okay.
it was Ben.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the first time I watched it, I thought that as well. I thought he had just had enough, couldn't kill his father, so he decided to kill Ben. Yeah.
This brings us to flashback number 3. It's 3 days ago at night. Ben approaches Locke and wakes him up with his walking stick. "Wake up, John. It's time." He leads Locke to the pillar where his father is tied up. Ben hands Locke a knife and tells him the quicker the better. Ben ungags Cooper, who says, "You're kidding, right? You expect him to kill me?" Ben ignores Cooper and says, "John, the hesitation that you're feeling is just the part of you that still feels like he has a perfectly good explanation for stealing your kidney, for throwing you out of an 8-story window.
No shit.
Don't you want to be free from him?"
Oh my gosh. This is some psychological
And see,
fuckery
both of them
right
are
now.
basically egging him on to kill him.
Yeah. And he still doesn't
One
do
doing
it.
it by encouraging, the other doing by just insulting the fuck out of him.
Right.
Cooper says that the hesitation.
Knows that his son is a pussy.
Yeah. He really doesn't think he could provoke him to do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Cooper says the hesitation is because Locke is spineless.
Yeah.
Locke yells at him to shut up and then notices that the others are watching. Cooper keeps it up by saying, "You're wasting your time, bug-eye. Me and him have been through all this. All he wants is his daddy."
Oh my God.
Damn.
Again.
Jesus.
Locke screams for him to shut up, though this time he presses the knife against Cooper's throat.
Locke.
I know, right?
Do it.
His father says
I'd
again
have gutted
something
him.
about...
Fuck that
Yeah,
shit.
me too.
Yeah.
Egging me on like that. Watch this. Please let me introduce you to your intestines.
Exactly.
Like
Let's just stab you in the guts and sit here with you for 3 or 4 days and see how you
we'll
feel.
talk about it for a while.
His father again says something about Locke not having figured it out. Locke asks Ben why he's doing this to him. Ben says, "You're doing this to yourself. As long as he's still breathing, you'll still be that same sad, pathetic little man that was kicked off his walkabout tour because you couldn't walk."
Damn.
Ben!
The knife is going to be slicing and dicing, man.
Yeah.
This is some next level cult bullshit.
Oh my
man.
God,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Locke presses the knife a little harder, but then pulls it away. Ben spins with his stick and then uses it to slap, or I would say really strike Cooper over the head and knocking him unconscious.
Yeah.
He
takes
spinning around.
He takes a knife from Locke and then tells the others he's not who they thought he was.
Oh.
God
Locke looks at the
damn.
scowling others and walks past them out of the camp.
This is where I had it
that was
in
a
my
rough
notes.
scene.
Come on, Locke. How can you not do this? Like, what the
Yeah, I know. I was
fuck?
like, come on, do it. I mean, shit.
Now, I understand the death scene later is really even better than if he had. But at this point, I'm like, fucking hell. Like, how can you let this man egg you on like that?
There was a
and
part
just-
of me that wanted to see Locke just totally lose his shit, and instead of using the knife to cut him up, just start bashing his head in with the bottom of the knife.
Yep,
Jeez.
Just like bludgeon him to death with the knife handle.
Hell yeah.
We are some violent people. My God.
Somebody that's stolen your kidney, knocked you out a window, and through all of that betrayed your trust and shown nothing but contempt for you. I mean, it would be difficult, especially in a place like that where, there's not really authorities here per se.
Right.
Like, it would be difficult.
And that's the biggest part about it too, is like, it's not like you're in downtown Los Angeles. Like, you're on the island. Just kill the fucking guy.
Yeah, seriously.
Get rid of him. What are you doing? All right. Anyways, rules are different on the island, Locke.
And we all suffer from bloodlust, it would seem. Back to the present, where Locke and Sawyer have reached their destination, the Black Rock.
What?
Dun, dun, dun.
Sawyer is flabbergasted. Nice place you have here, Locke. They enter, and Locke tells him that Ben is in the brig. They move further inside, past some skeletons, and Sawyer asks, "Friends of yours?" Locke says it's an old slaving ship from the mid-19th century. His guess is that someone brought the slaves to mine the island.
Oh,
Sawyer notices the dynamite, just as muffled screams can be heard from behind the door. He says, "Son of a bitch, you really kidnapped the little bastard." We ain't killing him,
I think
Locke.
he's impressed.
Yeah. Locke swings the door open and says, "Whatever you say, James." Inside, a man is bound and gagged with a bag over his head. Sawyer walks in, and Locke slams the door behind him, locking it.
Okay.
The fact that you can't tell that this
sec.
guy is like twice the size of Ben Linus just sitting there in the chair, I would immediately be like, "No, that's not him. That's not him."
Yep.
He didn't even get a chance to. The door was shut and locked before he could say a word.
I remember Sawyer also like shook the dynamite box, and I was just thinking, Arzt.
Yeah.
I think even Locke says that's a little unstable there.
Sawyer is yelling at him to open the door, but the bagged man is making a lot of noise. Sawyer is telling him to shut up as he rips the bag off his head to find Anthony Cooper. Sawyer says, "Who the hell are you?"
What? Who the hell are you?
Wow.
At Camp
This is
Original,
getting good.
Saeed is fixing Naomi's radio and tells Hurley he's never seen equipment this sophisticated. And yet he's just fixing it with aplomb. Like, never seen anything like this, but it's already fixed, dude. I'm that awesome.
They take like weapon theory in the Iraqi Guard, and they teach themselves what weapons of the future will do.
Oh, that must be it.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it's just because he hasn't gotten his nut off in like a month.
So he's brilliant.
He's like super focused again.
Brilliant again, yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Hurley wants to talk about their plane being found and everyone being dead, but Saeed tells him one thing at a time. He tests the phone and it comes on, but it says locating channel not found after some loud static. Saeed says there's some form of interference blocking their ability to send a message. It's funny how quickly he knows this. Like he's already figured out every option on this phone. He's like the guy who sets up your phone for you at the phone store. He knows everything about it.
Yeah.
Wow. We went from like super secret special Iraqi future weapons programs to the guy
dude,
at
to the guy at the T-Mobile store.
I was thinking the T-Mobile kiosk in the mall.
Exactly.
Okay, I didn't realize those guys were such problem solvers, but all right.
How else do you get that job? Before he can say how to fix it, Kate pulls out a lock in a box and pops up out of nowhere to see the radio. Hurley tries to say that they found it in luggage, but she is not buying it.
Yeah.
Saeed says, "Kate, if I explain, I want you to keep this very quiet." Kate replies, "Keep what very quiet?"
She didn't say okay.
Yeah, that's true. She didn't.
Back at the Black Rock, Sawyer is banging on the door and demanding to be let out. Locke is sitting outside the door when Danielle shows up.
Sawyer screams, "I can hear you, you bald bastard."
There's a lot of like bald and bug-eyed bastard. They say that several times in this show. They greet each other and Locke asks what brought her there. And she says, "Dynamite, and you?"
This scene is so good.
I love it.
It is. Of course, you can still hear Sawyer screaming, and Locke says, Locke just goes, crate's over there. Be careful. It's unstable.
Oh, that's who he said it was unstable to.
Yeah.
It was Danielle. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And Danielle carefully carries a crate out and leaves, and Sawyer can still be heard screaming.
It's so funny.
I love it. I love Danielle in this
so
scene.
good.
She's like, I'm not getting involved in this.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to know. I'm just going to take my dynamite and leave.
Yep, just here for my dynamite.
I've lived on this island or survived on this island by not getting involved.
Yep. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. This is flashback number 4 now. It's 2 days ago. Locke is sitting on a hill overlooking the others' tents. About 15 tents, I think, 12 to 15. Yeah, we'll get to that later. He unwraps
it's like a
his
small
bandage.
village.
It's like a small village. Yeah. He unwraps his bandage to see the bite has completely healed after 6 days. Richard Alpert appears and says, "It's beautiful, isn't it? No matter how much time you spend on the island, you never get tired of this view." We haven't been formally introduced. I'm Richard. They shake hands and Richard sits down. He tells Locke that Ben was trying to embarrass him because he knew Locke would never kill his father.
Whoa.
He did it
like, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you coming over here and now you're getting in the middle of me and Ben?
You just said, I'm Richard.
I'm Richard.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's who it is.
Got it. My mistake. Oh my God.
Shit in your ears? Come on.
No, oh my God.
He said he did it in front of the camp so that they would all see him fail. Locke wants to know why, and Alpert says, because when word got back here that there was a man with a broken spine on the plane who could suddenly walk again, well, people here began to get very excited because that could only happen to someone who was extremely special. But Ben doesn't want anyone to think you're special, John. Ben has been wasting our time with novelties like fertility problems. We're looking for someone to remind us that we're here for more important reasons. Locke wants to know what Alpert wants.
Like what? Yeah.
Yeah. Locke wants to know what Alpert wants. As he hands Locke the red dossier, Alpert says, I want you to find your purpose. And to do so, your father has to go, John. And since you're not going to do it, I'm going to suggest someone else. Locke looks at the folder, sees it's Sawyer, and says he wouldn't do it. He doesn't even know his father. As he's leaving, Alpert says, keep reading.
Whoa.
Derek, were you clued in at all at this point? Were you like, wait, what's he going to find in there? What the hell?
I figured he was going to find like that he killed the guy in Australia. Not the rest of it, though. I didn't include that yet.
Okay, so what you're saying is like he's capable of murder.
He's capable of murder, yes.
That's okay. So it blindsided you what's going to happen later. Nice. Okay, we'll talk more about it.
I'll tell you when I realized it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Back at the Black Rock, Sawyer is still shouting at the door. Cooper is yelling with his gag on, so Sawyer takes it off. He holds his finger to signal Cooper should be quiet while he points his gun at the door and says, I'm pointing my gun at you, John boy. You got 3 seconds to open this door. Sawyer counts to 1 and then cocks the gun so that he knows he's serious. He says 2. And John points out that if there were bullets in those guns, I think he says, James, you wouldn't have held a knife to my throat.
Yep.
Sawyer is pissed when he says that.
He's like, damn it.
Really mad.
And then Cooper says, guess I didn't raise no dummies.
What?
He didn't raise them.
I didn't raise anyone, yeah.
A, you didn't raise him.
Yeah.
And B, fuck, here we go.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
This piques Sawyer's curiosity, and when he asks Cooper what he meant by that, Cooper tells him that Locke is his son. Sawyer is really confused and wants to know how
why wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
What?
He wants to know how Cooper got to the island. Cooper says, island? Okay. I'm driving down I-10 through Tallahassee when, bam, someone slams into the back of my car. I go right into the divider at 70 miles an hour. The next thing I know, the paramedics are strapping me to a gurney, stuffing me in the back of an ambulance, and one of them actually smiles at me as he pops the IV in my arm. And then, nothing. Just black. And the next thing I know, I wake up in a dark room, tied up, gag in my mouth. And when the door opens, I'm looking at the same man I threw out a window, John Locke, my dead son.
Dead.
Oh, fuck.
Cooper is the man from Tallahassee, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
He was in Tallahassee when somebody yanked him into a magic box, I guess.
Yep.
Or according to him, he died and went to hell.
Sawyer asks if Locke is dead because he threw him out a window. Cooper says no, he died because the plane crashed in the Pacific. He was paralyzed because I threw him out a window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get your facts straight.
Yeah.
Sawyer.
Sawyer says, well, I got bad news for you, Pops, because I was on that plane with your son. He sure as hell wasn't crippled, and we didn't crash in the Pacific. We crashed here on this island. Cooper asks that if he's sure that it's an island. A little hot for heaven, isn't it? Sawyer says.
Oh, boy.
Sawyer says something sarcastic about them all being dead when Cooper says, they found your plane on the bottom of the ocean. One minute I'm in a car wreck, and the next minute I'm in a pirate ship in the middle of the jungle. If this isn't
crazy.
hell, friend, then where are we?
Yeah, he's got a point there.
He's got a point.
Hey, I'm okay with this version of hell. Send me to the fucking
Not
island.
bad, yeah.
I'm chilling. I'm living with Danielle. We're going to live in a tree fort.
And then again, I just was reading through this. I'm like, maybe they purposely crashed their car into him and
Yeah.
sedated him to bring him to the island.
Yeah.
He was making it sound like he was killed.
No, a lot of head-on car crashes in this flashbacks of this
yeah.
show, though.
A
isn't
lot
there?
of head injuries in this show.
Well, a lot,
Yeah.
yeah.
But is there a lot of head?
Wait a second.
Sawyer ignores him and asks why he threw Locke out a window. Cooper tells him that he'd become a nuisance ever since he conned him into giving him one of his kidneys and that he never got over it.
Oh,
This is when I realized.
that was it?
Yep.
Okay.
Con, because after Sawyer, what happens next?
Right. So as soon as
Yeah.
he said the word con, you're like, wait a
Yep.
second.
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
That's when I knew.
Okay. All right.
So at this, Sawyer's ears kind of perk up at the word conned. He says,
Yeah.
what's your name? Cooper replies, a con man goes by many names, friend. I've been Alan Seward, Anthony Cooper, Ted McLaren, Tom Sawyer, Lewis Jackson, Paul. Before he can go on, Sawyer interrupts him to say, Tom Sawyer. Cooper tells him he was young and the ladies loved that one. Made me charming. Said something about what it was Huck Finn was taking or something.
No, Christy. Someone call himself Tom Sawyer.
No.
That's not charming.
No.
Anthony Cooper is not charming. No matter what
No.
name he goes by. Not
I
charming.
yeah.
see.
Not
I
charming.
see.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull a
Not
picture of
Huckleberry
him from
Finn.
when he was really young, and we're going to look at that in the pre-show next week. We'll see if you
All
think
right.
the same. Okay. Go ahead, Ben.
Sawyer says, well, how about that? And when Cooper asks, how about what? He says, Sawyer's my name too.
Oh,
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
what is happening?
This whole episode, I have Rush in my head. Tom Sawyer, Rush.
Oh, real Tom Sawyer.
warrior, mean stride.
There you go.
Flashback number 5. It's yesterday. Locke wakes to see the others packing up and heading out. He goes over to Ben and asks what's going on. Ben tells him that they're moving and that Locke and his father are both staying behind. He's your mess, John.
Jesus.
Locke pleads with him, saying he doesn't need to put him in his place. Ben acts surprised that Locke would have an idea like that. Locke says that Ben can't leave him. And Ben replies,
I know. Please don't leave me.
Please
Everybody
don't
leaves
leave
me. Oh, God.
Whiny Locke.
and Ben replies, don't tell me what I can't do, John.
That was
Oh.
That's right, Ben. Bam.
Right back at you.
Yep.
Pathetic Locke says, but I thought I was special.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Before leaving, Locke standing there, Ben says, well, everyone makes mistakes. We're leaving now. We'll leave a trail, one you can track. And John, unless you're carrying your father's body on your back, don't bother.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the Black Rock, Locke sits outside the door of the brig, which is now silent. Inside, Sawyer is staring at Anthony Cooper. He asks him if he's ever been to Jasper, Alabama. And Cooper says, yeah, I've been to Jasper. Don't tell me I'm your daddy.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
Sawyer replies, no, you killed my daddy.
Oh, shit.
At this point, Sawyer reaches into his pocket to pull out the note that is still inexplicably in very good shape and still readable.
Yep,
He happened to have it in his pocket after having sex with Kate and going to pee?
Yeah,
I guess.
He sleeps with it in his pocket.
Must.
My guess is all of the butt sweat at some point would make that degrade, but you know.
Okay. Wow.
Swamp ass.
Boy.
He hands it to Cooper and tells him to read it. Cooper says, "You don't know who I am, but I know who you are, and I know what you done. You had sex with my mother, and then you stole my dad's money all away. So he got angry, and he killed my mother, and then he killed himself. Blah, 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 blah. So what? Is this supposed to be me? You wrote this letter?
You're going to get it. You're about to get it.
So what? Is this supposed to be you? You wrote this letter? Hey, wait a second. Did you take my name because you were on some kind of revenge kick?" Sawyer tells him that his mother's name was Mary and to keep reading. And Cooper says, "Mary from Jasper, Alabama. Yeah, I remember her. She practically begged me to take her $38,000 and to rescue her from her sorry little life."
Damn.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Sawyer
Death
tells
would have
him
occurred.
Sawyer tells him to finish the letter. Cooper tries to explain that he only took his mother's money. He's not responsible for his father's overreaction. He figures if his father pulled a murder-suicide, he must be down with them. He must be down there with them somewhere. Sarah screams at him to finish the letter, and Cooper says, okay, but then instead rips the letter to pieces.
Motherfucker.
Wow.
Sawyer grabs a chain from inside the room, goes around his neck with it, and starts strangling his father. Or starts strangling Locke's father, Cooper, whatever. As Cooper is asphyxiating, Sawyer screaming, "You want to go to hell? You want to go to hell?"
Hell yeah.
Oh my
Awesome.
God.
Cooper gasps for air as Sawyer tightens the hold on his neck, and he basically strangles him.
Yes.
When Sawyer releases the body, Locke opens the door. He looks at a shocked and distressed Sawyer and says, "Thank you."
Jesus Christ.
Holy
Yep. Thanks,
fuck.
man.
Yeah.
And
Do what I couldn't
Sawyer
do.
looks disturbed. Like his face, it shows somehow he manages to relay, I imagine, exactly what it would feel like to finally get the revenge that, like, you've been thinking about since you were a child. That would have to be overwhelming in so many different ways. And I think he really portrays that moment really well. The actor,
absolutely.
Josh
he
Holloway,
does a brilliant job with this scene and then with the next scene that he's in.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his better episodes as an actor. This has been a really strong episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Next, we've got Jack and Juliet sitting together eating on the beach. He asks if she misses those cheeseburgers yet, and she tells him only every second. They laugh as Kate approaches to say that she needs to speak with Jack in private.
Toothpicks.
Toothpicks.
Juliet tries to leave, but Jack insists that she stay. And Kate says, "Yeah, you know what? You should stay. Seems only fair considering she's the person that no one wants to tell. She's the reason that no one wants to tell you that there's a woman in Hurley's tent who parachuted on the island yesterday."
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
She jumped from her chopper before it crashed. She says that the boat that she took off from is about 80 miles off the coast, and that if she can find a way to contact it, we'll all be rescued. Jack wants to know why nobody told him, and again, she says that they don't trust him.
Oh shit.
Well, they obviously shouldn't fucking trust you either, since you just ran right over and told Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's not
okay.
pleased about that.
Mm-hmm.
Jack wants to know how the woman is supposed to contact the boat. And Kate says, "Did you hear what I said? Hurley, Charlie, Saeed, your friends are afraid to..." He interrupts again to ask how. She tells him about the radio and that Saeed is working on it. Juliet looks to Jack and says that they should tell Kate, who asks, "Tell me what?" Jack whispers, "Not yet," to Juliet and then leaves. The women stare at each other.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'd be knocking some people out. I'd be like, "You better fucking tell me, you bitch."
Yeah. Now Jack and Juliet have secrets. Like,
yeah, that's not okay, man.
Outside the Black Rock, Sawyer's vomiting. Locke tells him he can go back now. He's just like, "You can go now. I'm done with you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're done.
Thanks.
So ridiculous.
That's another Ben thing right there, just kind of using people and then, okay, I'm done with you.
Yep.
Visibly shaken, Sawyer asks, why did you do this? Locke says, he ruined my life and he ruined yours, and he had it coming.
Damn.
He pauses before continuing. Juliet is a mole. She's been working for Ben.
Oh.
What?
He sent her back to find out which of our women were pregnant. And 3 days from now, there's going to be a raid on the beach and they're going to take them. They say they don't want anyone to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Locke says Sawyer needs to warn the camp because he's not going back. And Sawyer asks if he was going back undercover. And Locke says he never was. He's on his own journey now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sawyer says the camp will never believe him that Juliet is a mole because he's been saying that the entire time. Locke says they'll believe him this time, and he heads out to leave. Sawyer asks him if it's true that his father threw him out a window and paralyzed him. And with half a smile on his face, Locke says, not anymore.
What?
Whoa.
Sawyer heads back to the camp. Locke picks up his father's wrapped body and walks away with it over his shoulder.
But something was missed there.
Yeah. He actually gives him
he
gives him the tape recorder.
Yeah, when Locke says they'll believe you this time, he hands him the tape recorder that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Derp, 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 derp. Derp, derp.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's going to trek with his father's body,
I know.
how many miles? 24 maybe?
And that actor's not when you met that actor,
Not
right?
a small guy.
He was pretty tall, right?
I would guess he's at least 6'2" to 4".
Yeah. He looks like he's...
Oh, you actually met him?
Yeah,
that
I
was
talked
the
about
actor
it in
that she
episode
met.
18 of season 1, I think, or
Like,
19.
I remember all that.
Something like that.
She met him when she was at a
Democratic
convention or something.
Yeah.
By the way, that was the end of the episode. I don't know if I said that. I don't know if I said end of episode, but that was the end of the episode.
Okay, don't forget to mention the title screen.
Episode. Title screen. Whatevs. Look, I'm Googling his height right now. Oh, I was wrong. He's only 6'1".
Still.
Over
Still,
6
Close. 6'2",
all that
6'4".
body through the
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, my guess is that he's a fair amount taller than Terry O'Quinn.
You think so?
Wow.
Well, now I feel the need to check that.
Yeah. Terry O'Quinn just got that 5'9" kind of...
What? I don't think that's... No.
Oh, 6 foot even.
Is he 6 foot even?
feet, Yeah.
All right.
1 inch. Got him by an inch.
He's
Then-
tall like his daddy.
Then
Saeed is
his-
5'9".
Okay. Then his daddy's just bigger. Like he's just like a huskier guy.
Stockier
Yeah,
guy,
he has like a broad chest and shoulders and stuff like that. Yeah. When
Okay.
I searched Terry O'Quinn, it says people also search for Naveen Andrews, 5'9", Dominic Monaghan, 5'7", Jorge Garcia, 6 feet. I didn't realize Hurley was that tall.
Oh, he's
his
actually
width.
that's a big guy then.
Yeah.
That size at 6 foot, that's big, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. All right. Shall we do some fun facts?
Sure.
Sure.
How
I think
fun?
I've got us.
It depends on the funness of them. Are they
I
really
know.
fun?
I know.
Prostitute fun or is it Gilgamesh fun?
Well, I think it's another one of these, like, I thought it was a fun fact, but it's really like knockout gases. It was like all about suicide accidentally.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah. Well, so this week we're talking about
The laugh riot.
strangulation.
Oh,
All right.
boy. Oh, boy.
All right. So when one person puts their hands around the neck of another and squeezes, this is called strangulation. Choking.
Oh, okay.
Choking, however, refers to a blockage inside one's throat, making it difficult to breathe. The words are not interchangeable, even though we often say, like,
Choke a
I want to
bitch.
choke you out. Yeah, I'm going to choke a bitch.
Or I like choked to get choked when
Which
I'm
is the
getting
proper
fucked.
one
Exactly.
when talking about autoerotic the
Because you're
Strangulation.
tightening something around your neck, so
Blah.
it's strangulation.
Autoerotic.
It depends. I mean, I guess you could do it just by putting like a popsicle stick in someone's throat and just sort of gagging them with it as well. So
Oh God.
or blocking
Okay,
their
well, that would be
Autoerotic
choking.
asphyxiation.
Yeah,
that's what I was
that would
trying
be
to say.
choking.
Yeah.
It's I like to be strangled during sex, or I choked on that cock. It's
There you go.
Got it.
okay.
All right.
See, look, it's turning out to be fun already.
All right.
Yep.
Strangulation is when pressure is applied from the outside, cutting off blood vessels or airflow in the neck and preventing oxygen from reaching the brain. It's like when we talked about definitions of venomous and poisonous. Remember, they're not actually interchangeable, but we do that all the time accidentally. So, just what does it take to strangle someone to death? Other than the will...
Yeah, it was like a hard heart.
Yeah, other than, or the will that you've been building up since you were 8 years old. Only 11 pounds of pressure placed on both carotid arteries for 10 seconds is necessary to cause unconsciousness. Okay, but that's only step one. 4.4 pounds of pressure placed on the jugular for 10 seconds is also enough to cause unconsciousness. So there's more than one way to knock somebody unconscious by cutting off their blood supply. 33 pounds of pressure on the trachea is required to close it off completely. It is not easy to strangle someone to death.
No,
if pressure is... What was that, Ben?
I said, yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be easy.
No. It looks easy in media, right? Because it takes like 3 seconds and they pass out and then they're just dead. And that is not accurate. You really would have to squeeze for a few minutes.
Yeah, you have to keep going after they pass out.
Right, which is why I started with the will, like the will to do that for that long. Anyways, so...
Or just the money to have it done.
Well, I guess so, yeah. So if you take your hand off, like you remove the pressure before you have killed someone, strangled them to death, consciousness will be regained within 10 seconds. So that's also not accurate if you're thinking about media strangulation, that if you only strangle somebody for like 30 seconds, they're definitely not dead, but then they wake up like hours later or something like that. That's not going to happen. Yeah. You're gonna like startle awake. Brain death will occur in 4 to 5 minutes of loss of oxygen. So that's how long you would have to apply 33 pounds of pressure to the trachea in order to actually strangle someone.
Or 5 years of watching Fox News. That also causes brain death.
Wow.
Probably quicker than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, does it really take 5 years? All right.
No. Probably a long weekend if that's all you did.
Yeah.
Wow. So on the continuum of violence, which is basically like if you've committed this crime, you might commit the next one. Strangulation is just right before homicide. So if you strangle people, but not all the way to death, you're likely to eventually kill someone. Strangulation that stops short of killing may still cause significant health consequences, both physical and obviously psychological.
Like awesome orgasms.
Or that. But that's consensual. I guess I'm more thinking of non-consensual strangulation. But obviously with consensual strangulation, you need to understand the risks. So here they are. You can experience vision changes, ringing in the ears, swollen tongue, cuts, abrasions in the mouth, swelling of the neck, difficulty breathing, trouble swallowing, other voice or throat changes, neurological damage such as memory loss, dizziness, headaches, vomiting, extreme weakness, involuntary urination, and behavior changes.
So you're saying if I experience any of these, I should talk to my doctor?
Probably, yes. But it's also the risks of cutting oxygen off or cutting your brain off of oxygen for any length of time. Those are the risks. So if you are, recovering from strangulation, that might be what you're going through. And if you like to be strangled, then you should know those are the risks. Somehow this went from like talking about murder to encouraging the BDSM crowd to be be and that's fine.
I mean, both are
They should
important.
be careful.
Yeah.
They should be careful.
Yeah.
Both
Like,
are
go
important.
on with your bad self, but be careful.
Okay. Let's do some best and worst moments. How about Ben? This was your episode. What did you think of it?
Oh, I mean, just the moment that Sawyer realizes that Cooper is Sawyer.
Yeah.
Like, That's by far I think the best moment. I think the worst moment was when when Ben had taken Locke up there to kill Cooper, and Cooper was just being like, yeah, he's weak, he's spineless, he can't do it. That whole scene was really, really difficult to watch. So yeah, that was the worst.
Ours are almost exactly the same. I did have an honorable mention. The scene between Locke and Danielle in the Black Rock was just
that was actually good. Yeah.
Yeah. But then my best moment, more specifically than you, Ben, is when he takes the letter out of his pocket, and it's like, oh fuck, that's the last time he's gonna take that out of his pocket. Like, here we go, this is it. And then the worst moment, same. Locke can't kill his father, and he's being taunted by Ben and Cooper. It's terrible. Derek, what about you?
Best moment was Sawyer and Anthony Cooper, and Sawyer finally ending it, getting his revenge that he so deserved. I had like two worst moments. The one was where Locke couldn't kill him in front of the others, and also when Anthony Cooper tore up Sawyer's letter. That just pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah,
but
totally
it's
agree.
all Sawyer needed to finish it up.
Yeah, that was the final straw, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Christy, what do you think? What were your best and worst?
My best moment was Danielle coming to the Black Rock for dynamite.
It's so good.
She's just like, I'm just going to take my dynamite and go. I don't need to know what the fuck is going on here. It was great. For me, the worst moment was Sawyer killing Mr. Cooper. Simply because he allowed himself to be manipulated by Locke.
Okay.
And and then the next scene that they're in where Sawyer's vomiting, I don't know if it's because he was relieved or if it's because I don't know. There's a lifetime of trauma and emotion that came out, and it came out in the form of vomit.
Definitely.
Just it was a very, very emotional thing. So I'm half kind of happy for him that he did get his revenge, but I'm also sad for him because he was manipulated by Locke.
Okay, gotcha. That was all of us, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget. All right, let's go into rankings. Derek, what were yours this week? What do they look like?
My number one was Sawyer.
Okay.
Because he got his revenge. I actually like Locke in this episode. Yeah, I know Chris didn't like because he manipulated Sawyer, but Locke was able, even though he was a pussy, to get finally get rid of his father.
He got the job done.
Yeah, he got the job done.
Yep. He's part of the club.
And my third is Ben Linus because he was like the mastermind of this whole thing anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
And then my worst, of course, was Anthony Cooper. And I'm going to fuck Kate, in her own tent while Sawyer is peeing.
Wow. So you're going to be quick.
It's going to be quick, yeah. And I'm going to kill Anthony Cooper yet again. I guess his third death.
Right. Okay. I had Locke as number one. I understand, he had these sort of moments of weakness, and I don't understand why he couldn't just do it himself. But he found a way.
Because he's a pussy.
Yes, he is.
He found a way. He got a little help from Albert. That's fine, but he did it. He got it done. And so I like him for that. I have Sawyer in second because he got his revenge and he did what he said he would do if he ever saw that guy. I have Richard Albert in third because just what exactly is going on here? Is he's kind of going behind Ben's back and
schisms within the others.
Yeah, bringing little information here and there. So he seems to be kind of stirring some stuff up, and I like it. And he seems to end up in my top three every time he comes around. Obviously, the worst was Anthony Cooper, and I killed him. Of course. I am going to fuck Locke and Sawyer in the Black Rock.
On top of a thing of dynamite?
Yeah,
or
you would
with
think
Anthony Cooper dead or alive.
You would think that I would say that, but no, I think we'll stay away from the dynamite because I want it to get kind of vigorous.
And the dynamite is unstable.
True. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Christy, what were your rankings this week?
I had a hard time with my top 3, so
I see you have some surprises in there.
yeah. So I just went with a top 2 of Hurley and Penny.
Was Penny in this episode?
No.
Penny.
Her spirit was here, though.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
My bottom 3, Locke was the worst. I'm annoyed with Jack for whatever's going on with him and Juliet.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben Linus is fucking horrible.
We can't make him win because you're gonna
No.
spoil it every time.
I
I
just,
thought about putting Jack down there, but I couldn't.
No.
you know, at the beginning of this season, I thought about switching up my thinking, but I just can't do it. I don't like him, so he's on the bottom.
All right.
So-
Maybe you're just not strong enough, Christy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I am gonna fuck Richard Alpert, and
he's
his
hot.
guy liner, and I'm gonna kill Mr. Cooper just for old time's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, bitch. All right, Ben. Why don't you give us yours and then update us after 19?
I've got Sawyer in the top slot. He closed out that chapter in his life, hopefully. I've got Locke in second place, even though, he's sort of being a mini Ben at this point. But his kind of single-minded pursuit of this was actually, it just makes for good entertainment, I think.
Yeah.
For third, I've got Ben for the same reason. Like, he's just constantly thundering. He's just, every time Locke is there, he's like poking him and just, like he says, I'm going to find what they're emotionally invested in and exploit it. That's what he does. And he's just doing it. And again, it makes for good entertainment and it makes for great dialogue. Some of the things that he says are like fucking cringe when he's talking to Locke. So the bottom of the barrel, Anthony Cooper. You don't get much more pathetic or that much more awful than that.
He got what he had coming.
He did. This week, I'm going to fuck Juliet and I'm going to kill Mr. Cooper.
All right.
All right.
On to the power rankings.
Yes, please.
We have a new first place.
Oh.
Sawyer has jumped from third place
Back on top.
to first place with
I like
115
him.
points.
He is not fucking around. Holy cow.
And that puts Hurley and Juliet into a two-way tie with 110 points, which once again allows Desmond to claim the fourth spot with 75 points.
Wow.
We still have
It was like a
Deadpants Danny.
three-way. It was a three-way race between Sawyer and Juliet and Kate for most of the beginning of the season, and then Hurley was like, "Nope, here I come."
Now Kate really just kind of she flamed out a few episodes ago, and she's done. She's done. We still have Deadpants Danny with negative 90 points, Paolo Poopstick with negative 80, but we have a new third place entry.
I bet.
Mr. Cooper, negative 59 points.
Whoa.
Which knocks Charles Widmore out of the bottom.
Okay. This is fucking exciting. Agree with me.
Yeah.
Yes. I figured we were going to talk about our final thoughts, so that's where we're going with it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I just meant the rankings. It's exciting. The end of the season is a horse race, and
It's
I love
heating
it.
up.
All right. Yeah, let's do some final impressions. Christy, how'd you like the Brig?
Most of this episode just pisses me off.
Shit.
But that's like what they were going for, so
Okay.
it worked. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about that.
Wow.
Wow. Most of this episode pisses me off, and that's all you have to say about that.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
Short and sweet.
Ben, what did you think?
It was, again, I think it was a really entertaining episode. It had great dialogue throughout.
I was entertained. I was just pissed.
Pissed off.
Yeah. No, it was basically anytime when there's an episode that has Ben in it like this and like Ben and Locke in this case sort of like dueling or doing whatever the fuck they're doing, it's just fun. So I really, really liked this episode. I thought the scene with Danielle and the Black Rock was really well written, really well acted. It was funny. And then behind that door, while this kind of funny thing is happening, you have like, this deep, like murderous catharsis going on. And kind of tying off that storyline, which has been a big one of the biggest mysteries for the first 3 seasons, answered, and sort of we think is, well, maybe he's dead and that's over. So yeah, I thought it was a really entertaining, fun episode.
Yeah. Okay. Me too.
I love the whole Danielle thing where she's like, you know what? Not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm just going to take my dynamite and go.
Okay. So you had your chance to talk?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
All right, Lacy, what do you think? What are your final impressions?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Danielle just like taking her dynamite and going on her way, and their conversation. That was one of the high points of the episode. I love the episode. I think it's one of my favorite out of the whole show. I think it's great. I think it's such a great reveal. And I think in hindsight, like, it's so obvious that he's the real Sawyer. Of course, it's all, who are the con men? And like, just all of the pieces are there, right? But they still surprise you and hit you with that. And I can remember my jaw just dropping the first time around watching this, like, oh my God. I was super excited to hear what Derek had to say about this episode in particular. Yeah, so good for Sawyer. I'm glad he got his revenge. I hope he's okay afterward. Doesn't like get depressed and feel empty. Good for Locke. He found a way. He always seems to. That's the Locke that I love. I'm very excited. Like, well, what the fuck is Ben going to do now? He didn't think he was going to kill him. And now he's going to have the dead body. So excited to see that. Yeah, I just love this fucking show. That's what I have to say about that. Derek, why don't you let us know what you thought of the Brig? Final impressions, and what kind of questions did this one raise for you?
I thought it was an excellent episode. Anthony Cooper finally gets what's coming to him, even though it should have been Locke that did it. But the job got done, and both of them, got their revenge. There's yet another mention of the plane crash in the ocean, that there were no survivors, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this episode. It didn't piss me off at all. And yeah, it was a great reveal. I mean, like I said, until Cooper said conned, I was like, holy shit, that's okay, now I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a aha moment.
Yeah.
My biggest question is, how did Anthony Cooper get to the island after a car crash anyways?
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Somebody give him some orange juice.
Yeah, exactly. He gulped it all down.
That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, one more question before we go, though, Derek. Like, what do you think of the reveal? Like, specifically, like, does it blow your mind? Is it good writing? Like, are you excited about it? Like, when you realized it, were you just kind of blown away,
Cooper
or what?
Yeah, oh yeah, I was blown away. I was like sitting on my couch going, holy shit, it's him. It's him. My God, finally, because it was like, 3 seasons of who is this guy? Who was responsible for Sawyer's parents' deaths?
Right, exactly. Okay.
Well,
awesome.
Sawyer's dad was responsible for Sawyer's parents' death.
True.
But yeah.
So, it sounds like both of his parents were kind of responsible.
She wanted to get out of her miserable life.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
All right. I am very excited for next week. Couple big things are happening. Your question will not be answered, Derek. But it is time for the purge, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached season 3, episode 20. It's called The Man Behind the Curtain. It's a Ben episode, Linus, not ours. It's a Christy episode, and surprise, he's coming back. It's Caleb, Christy's husband. He's joining us again next week. Get excited. We'll see you then. Bye.
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 Lost in My 40s is a Spacebear Media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacy J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trimp. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook to interact with your hosts. Plus, follow Spacebear Media on YouTube to watch our episode pre-shows. You can also find us at Spacebear_media on Instagram and Twitter. Or come to our website, spacebearmedia.com.